Hey, what's up everyone? David here and welcome back to another video. Today I have a friend of the channel joining me to discuss all things Persona 1 and Persona 2 the duology. So I'm not talking about the games themselves, but more like everything around those games. So game releases, ports, remakes, what's happening, what we would like to see, etc. And for that discussion, I brought my friend Kuro from the Midnight channel. How you doing, dude?
Hey man, thank you so much for inviting me again. I'm very excited to talk about these games.
Yeah, dude, it's been a while. I'm glad you accepted the offer here joining me today. It should be fun. I don't have a lot of things to discuss, but I still have a good idea of what to discuss both about Persona 1 and Persona 2. It should be fun. Just before we get into the swing of things, Kuro has a great Persona and Atlus YouTube channel. So if you guys want to check him out, his links is going to be down in the description below. Feel free to show him some love once you're done with this video. All right, dude, the first thing that I wanted to ask you is, well, of course, Persona 25th anniversary, right? It's been one hell of a ride, to say it politely. Lots of things happened, other things didn't happen, but it was kind of a mess from start to finish. That being said, I made a video recently saying how, at least myself, I changed my opinion on it. Like, it went from disappointment to excitement for me, from just the beginning where not much was happening, and then now where we obviously just got the reveal of all the modern Persona games coming to modern platforms now. So all Persona 3 Portable, Golden, 5 Royal. But what about Persona 1 and Persona 2 Innocence Sin Eternal Punishment? Let me just ask you straight up, what about them? Anything in mind that you want to discuss straight up?
So to me, I personally, I honestly, like, in a perfect world, right, I personally would like to see like a remake or something like that to put those games. But I understand, logistically speaking, I do think that we're bound to get at least a port of the games. It just makes sense. But it also makes sense what they will announce Persona 3, 4, and 5 first, because to me those are the more marketable games. Like, if you want to get some kind of hype or excitement, I feel like if they had announced Persona 1 and 2 as like the re-releases before Persona 5, people would have been pissed.
Oh yeah.
So to me, I'm like, if you're gonna do this, you have to start with Persona 5 and obviously Persona 3 and 4, because following the fame of Persona 5, 3, and 4 are kind of like still more relative famous. So what I'm thinking is, if they had gone with Persona 1 and 2 first, before even Persona 4 Golden on PC, or now with Persona 5 or something, I feel like people would have been so pissed about this that the backlash would have been like way like harder than any of the other announcements. So I think it just makes sense that they would have started with those games. But I personally think there is a good chance that we're still gonna get those. I wouldn't even be surprised if this was the last announcement that we get at the concert.
That's what I was about to ask. But you talked about something interesting, and I want to just add a little bit over what you just said about Persona 3, 4, 5 getting brought back before Persona 1 and 2. And I fully agree with everything that you mentioned, because if you put yourself in the shoes of someone who only played Persona 4 Golden on their PC, or Persona 5 on their PlayStation, and you never played any other Atlus games or even Persona games, if you look at Persona 1 or Persona 2, you'll be like, what the hell is this? Right? You're like, what's that? On the other hand, if you show them Persona 3 or Persona 4, you're like, oh, that's like Persona 5. Or if you're the PC player, oh, that's like Persona 4. You can recognize Persona 3 and 4 or Persona 3 and 5. Persona 1 and 2, they're different. They're really different, and at first sight, they wouldn't recognize it. So for that, I'm with you. Now, you said something interesting. You're thinking it's still possible for us to maybe get the reveal of Persona 1 and 2 ports at the end of the anniversary. So you're thinking like during the Persona Super Live concert? Maybe?
Yeah, I'm thinking that, yeah, exactly. So I'm thinking that there's a good chance that these ports will be still, because to me, like, it makes sense. Like, there's literally no investment that Atlus has to do on this. The game's already made. If anything, they probably just had to like have the game subtitled, I guess, if you're talking about like Eternal Punishment or which one is it? It's a Sin, I guess, the one that they'll have to translate to English.
It would be
from the PSP.
Eternal Punishment on PSP.
Eternal Punishment, yeah. So like in my mind, I'm just kind of like, out of everything, the least amount of effort will just be to have those ported over and just call it a day. You know, and that way, like, to me, it's like that's just literally easy free money.
You
Because
mean
like the
compared to
amount
like
of
a new project?
exactly, yeah,
Okay.
compared to like having Persona 5 Strikers 2
Yeah, yeah,
or
yeah.
some other game or whatever, these games will be so low effort, and they'll still be like a goodwill in the community, if you will. Like, you know, whoever cares about these games it still gets a chance to like be like, oh yeah, you know, finally they're recognizing the games or whatever. So I think it still makes sense. Like, if we're gonna do something, at least the ports will, like, logistically speaking, will make more sense for them.
And you're thinking PSP versions?
Yeah, PSP versions. I
Okay.
really doubt they will touch
I doubt it, right? The
the PSP
Revelations
the PS
Persona and the
PS1 versions. They would
PS1.
just
Plus, they
it
would
wouldn't
have
make any
to
sense.
translate Innocent Sin because we never got that one on PlayStation 1. So I'm thinking if you have to like localize one of the versions, whether it's Innocent Sin PlayStation 1 or Eternal Punishment PSP, just get the PSP versions, right? So I'm with you on that one. That being said, I'm not too sure about the Persona concerts and the reveals so soon. They would reveal them before Persona 3 Portable and Golden ports. Is it a big deal? Probably not, but it kind of still sounds a little strange to me. Though, although I wish you're right, because that is something that I would like to see. You also mentioned remakes. Now, for remakes, that's interesting. I kind of want to start on that one, if you don't mind. Now,
Sure.
I'm thinking Persona 1. Persona 1, first things first, I think it would be more marketable. Like, this is where everything started. Here's a brand new game, which is pretty much a remake slash reboot of Persona 1. That's kind of how I would like to see it. Make it appeal to older fans, but also newer fans. Because if you remake, like, full 3D, the exact same game, I don't know. I'm not, how can I say it? I'm not too confident, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm not too confident either, but to me, it will be like, I guess all the stars will have to be aligned. Preface, guys, I know some people are like maybe new to the series and everything, but I never seen Atlus do a proper remake of a game. They done a lot of remasters and enhanced editions, but I've never really seen like a remake of a game from Atlus. I can't think of a single game where they actually did an actual remake of a game.
You're probably right.
So. Like I'm literally like I'm trying to go through the list of every single game I ever played from Atlus. I'm like, I never seen them done an actual remake, like not remaster, not like an enhanced edition with like additional shit or whatever.
Crusty
I mean, like
HD
an actual, like an actual remake. I think the closest we got to that was with Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne, where they actually
that's
used
far
a
from a
engine.
remake. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's actually what I mean. Like, but that was the game where they actually used another engine to like port the game and everything, which is and that's the closest thing that I can think of.
Okay, it's really interesting too, because if you look at the charts and release dates here, like the original Revelations Persona, that's 1996 on PlayStation 1 for us in the States. Then you have Innocent Sin in Japan on PlayStation 1, that's 1999, and then Eternal Punishment in the West, PlayStation 1, that's 2000. If you're talking PSP versions, Eternal Punishment is May 2012, Innocent Sin is April 2011, and Shin Megami Tensei Persona is portable. Okay, 2009. Yeah, 2009. So it's been over a decade for all of them, like the most recent releases of these games. So I really want to see them. A remake might be a lot to ask. You know, best case scenario, my best case scenario would be you port the PSP versions of Persona 1 to duology, including Eternal Punishment, in one collection. That would make sense. Make it full price, all three games together with a physical release. That would be like best case scenario to me.
Yeah.
Make it 50 bucks.
That'll be honestly the best case scenario for real, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I'll just do some weird decisions and everything. I don't know.
They're gonna do like Persona 1.
Persona 5 being that full price again. I'm like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah, that stuff. I mean, there's a lot of things that they could do. The when they could reveal that is another thing that I wanted to touch on. You mentioned the concert. I'm thinking maybe some type of some type of Tokyo Game Show reveal, but not for this year, like next year after the 25th is over. I'm thinking we'll see Persona 6 at the concert too. So it's like, do they want to put Persona 1 and 2 ports next to the big Persona 6 reveal? Like, even if there's no gameplay, if it's just a small 5 or 6 shares teaser. It's still Persona 6. It's still gonna make headlines from big sites like IGN and
Right.
stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
So do you want to have like PSP ports that are extremely different from anything other, like anything Neo Persona next to the next big thing? I'm kind of worried that it would get overshadowed, but I'm still hoping it happens because that would be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it will happen. If it does, it's just gonna be, let's be honest. I don't think they really care at this point too much. So I'm like, if they do, they'll just drop them. Even like Shadow drop them. I wouldn't be surprised if they did the Persona 4 thing that they did with Steam, where they just kind of shadow drop them the next day and
That
everything.
would be awesome. And just to make it clear, I'm not looking for like some high effort remasters, right? I'm looking at HD ports. I don't want a Crisis Core remaster like Square Enix is doing from the PSP. That seems like high budget. I'm looking
Absolutely.
for a clean HD versions of PSP
I'm thinking
games.
they dump everything on one of those AI enhancing softwares. They quickly port them or something, or like some third-party company that they pay to have the ports. That's what I'm talking about, because I know this is the low effort kind of shit Atlus will do.
Yeah, low effort, high revenue.
Yeah, exactly. Because like, I don't know. Let's be frank. If they drop these tomorrow, we'll probably go and buy them anyway.
Oh yeah,
even if they were like $40 each.
Watch them do like a Persona 1 and Persona 2 Eternal Punishment collection, but Innocent Sin is DLC or something like that.
Yeah, you know what? That will happen.
That makes sense. Now, this video may seem out of nowhere for some of you all, and it may seem like we're stretching things a little bit with our predictions and what we would like to see. But to be honest, before we wrap things up, I have a feeling that we're not that crazy, because if you look at the last bunch of surveys that Atlus sent, they're always asking about Persona 1 and 2. They're doing it slowly and they're subtle about it, but they're always asking us about Persona 1 and 2 interests, like ports, remakes. They've been asking us for years too. So I'm thinking, to be honest, and I think that's a good conclusion, I'm just thinking at this point, at the time of recording this video on September 5th, 2022, I'm thinking Atlus, they don't even know what they want to do with Persona 1 and 2. They're unsure.
Yeah, I don't think they have a roadmap about it. I think it's just also because a lot of the old team that was working on the Persona games is completely gone. Like they already done other games outside of Atlus and everything. So I know Japan does care about that kind of stuff. Having like the group not being there and still doing that kind of stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised. At the end of the day, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't release those games again. Like if they don't touch them ever or anything like that.
Same.
I wouldn't be surprised or anything. As hopeful as we sounded throughout the entire video. If they do not release anything, I wouldn't be upset or like surprised at all. Because I feel like at the end of the day, these games, they may not sell. Like if they re-release them, there's a good chance that people just not interested in them.
They're gonna look at them and they're gonna be like, "Huh, that's crusty old game. I'm not interested." That it's totally possible, and I wouldn't blame them necessarily. That being said, if you listen to us for like 10-15 minutes talking about Persona 1 and 2, I'm sure you are like hardcore Persona fan. Those games aren't that bad. You can go back and play them on PSP or through emulation, and I feel like they're still fun games. They're still fun to play, and the stories are worth experiencing. So I would still suggest playing those games if Atlus they never bring it back, because it's, as you said, it's a definite possibility. Hey, Kuro, thank you so much for joining me, man. I really, really appreciate it. That was fun.
No problem. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you all so much for watching. If you liked it, just a quick thumbs up would be awesome. If you want to stay up to date on anything Atlus, Shin Megami Tensei, Persona, you're at the right place. Make sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell. Most importantly, don't forget to check out my friend's channel. Link is down in the description below. Bye.
Bye.